If you're tired of being stuck, unmotivated, disappointed in yourself for not being able to achieve your goals, aspirations, and dreams, then keep on watching because I have a whole blueprint on how to change your life in just 14 days. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan May. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, hello again. Today we're going to be talking about how to change your life in 14 days. And I know that seems like a very, very short amount of time, but trust me when I tell you that once you start building these habits, you will just skyrocket and the world is going to be your oyster. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, if you are sick and tired of feeling stuck, unmotivated, you feel like you're letting yourself down, you feel disappointed that you haven't reached your goals and your dreams yet, you are not alone. I have been there. I am still there constantly. I have imposter syndrome on the daily. As many of you know, being a content creator is not just about showcasing your life. It is also about analytics and research and all that kind of stuff. And so that is what I did. I took a deep dive into planning out how you are going to change your life in 14 days by changing your mindset to be able to achieve your goals and your aspirations and your dreams. So something that I'm going to talk about and I'm going to touch on briefly is that you need to stop procrastinating. Okay? I do this all the time. I am the world's worst procrastinator. In university, I would start studying when it was 10 o'clock at night and the exam was the next day. And I thought I was going to ace it. Yeah, no. Reality check, that's not how it works unless you are a super genius. And I am not. Even now, I still procrastinate. I procrastinate with YouTube. I procrastinate with chores around the house. I procrastinate with grocery shopping, just as we all do. We all live busy lives, and when we start to get into a funk of feeling lazy or we end up doom scrolling on our phones, there starts to become this pattern where our brains start to trick ourselves into thinking like, oh, we can push that off, we still have time, don't worry about it, just take the time right now to relax and unwind, which is great because we all need to do that. But when it starts to become a habit and you're constantly doing it and you start to fall into the pattern of procrastination, that is where we need to draw the line and we need to get out of that rut because that is not how we're going to level up our lives. In order to transform out of those bad habits, we need to create a game plan and we need to do it step by step. From day 1 to day 14, we are going to figure that out together. So here I have put together some proven tips and tricks on how to transform your life in just as little as 14 days. And like I said, we are going to level up and we are going to become the best version of ourselves in that time frame. So the first thing, the very first thing that we need to think about is just starting. Because your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, they're not just going to fall into your lap. You need to be able to build those stepping stones and those building blocks in order for those opportunities to fall into place and to land on your lap. Because if you're just going to sit back and do nothing and think that the universe is going to provide for you, honey, it doesn't work that way. You need to advocate for yourself. You need to be the one to start getting the ball moving in order for the universe to be like, okay, she deserves it. Let's give it to her. And I know that just starting is the hardest part. Trust me, this has been my biggest thing, is just starting. Becoming a content creator, like there's so much that goes into it, but the hardest thing isn't the taking the content part. It's not the editing. It's not the captions. It's not thinking of what I'm going to create. It is actually the posting. The posting is the hardest part. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but it's like the imposter syndrome creeps in, the fear of being judged creeps in, and honestly, like no opportunity is going to come from the content just sitting in my drafts. I have to pull my big girl panties on and I have to hit post in order for me to get to where I want in my content creator career. I need to be able to put myself out there and put the content out there in order for it to flourish into whatever it is that may come from that. And I know too, like sometimes you think, oh, right now is not a good time. I'm going on vacation, or maybe I'm getting married. There's so many excuses that we can find to not start. But honestly, it's like anything, like it's never a good time to start anything until you actually put your mind to it. Something that I actually think about often is that as a fitness coach as well, like a lot of people are like, oh, like I am going on vacation, or it's around the holidays and we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas and New Year's. Maybe I'll start after all that so I can indulge and enjoy myself during that time. And it's like, well, you can still do that, but there's always going to be a Thanksgiving, there's always going to be a Christmas, and there's always going to be a New Year's every single year. So you have to think, why don't I start now so that I can set myself up for next year when these holidays come around? Because at the end of the day, you're still going to fight with those 3 holidays every year, and you're always going to struggle if you don't find a system that works the best for you. And also, you can enjoy those holidays. It's not about restricting yourself. It's about finding what works for you and your goals, and also thinking about everything in moderation. So going off of that too, you're never fully in control because you have those holidays, because you're going on vacation, you don't know what to expect when you're in a different country or what that's going to look like. It's always good to kind of like set yourself a basic game plan of everything that is going to be thrown at you, and then immerse yourself in that and be like, okay, what can I do in this time frame that will help me and set me up for maybe future me down the road? Like maybe if you want to be a content creator and you know you're going on vacation, you can pre-record everything and batch all your content beforehand so that when you're on the plane for however many hours, you can then edit your content in that time frame so that by the time you get to your destination, you can just hit post and schedule and have fun and enjoy it without having the stress of being like,
oh my gosh, I didn't follow through with my content schedule, I still need to edit. Like,
there's so much that you can do that is within your control. You just have to set it up and schedule yourself and be organized in order for you to then execute on that. And that too, you need to work within your means. Understand that true growth doesn't come from being comfortable. If you want to be a content creator, put yourself out there, and it's not comfortable for everyone. Myself, I am a true introvert and I don't like being the center of attention. You would never know that though, because I'm like posting all of these things that kind of look like I'm putting myself out there. Behind the scenes, I am uncomfortable hitting the post button. In order for myself to grow and to evolve, I have to not think about the outcome as much as think about challenging myself and challenging my content in order for it to reach those new heights. And so with that, I know that we can get in our heads about being uncomfortable. Just know that the journey is not as hard as you think. Putting that into perspective, at the end of the day, the journey is pushing a button to hit post. That's not hard. In my mind, it is hard, but the physical aspect of it is not hard at all. So it's like, why are you so afraid of pushing a button? And other people might think, Megan, you're a content creator, you do this all the time. Like, why are you so afraid to act on this? And the reality is that I'm so caught up in my head that other people might not think that my challenges are as difficult as something that they're facing. It's very individual and it's very personal. I think that we all just have to give each other grace, and everyone at the end of the day is just trying to do their best. We're all trying to figure it out the best way that we can, and in order to do that, we all need to support each other in some way or another. So moving on to being the best version of yourself, I want you to envision your goals, your habits, and your thoughts that align with becoming this best version. Think about that for a second, write them down, expand on them, and then also think about what it is that it's stopping you from envisioning those goals, those habits, and those thoughts, because that is your limiting beliefs. I want you to envision your best self, but also what is restricting you from becoming the best version of yourself. And then after that, I want you to roll on that envisioning portion, and I want you to think about what are the habits that you currently practice that sets you up and puts you to be that higher envisioning self. So what are your good habits? What are you successful at? I want you to name 5 of those. For me, my 5 habits are: I make working out a priority weekly. I make my bed every single day. I try to be a great friend. I don't drink alcohol, and I try my best to be self-aware. Now, those are my 5 habits that I practice as much as I can, and those will be the value that I bring when I envision my higher self. Now, when you create that new identity, I want you to understand what that looks like. So what does this person do? What are they doing on the daily? What are their habits? So this all kind of goes back to that envisioning aspect. And so I want you to manifest it. And I want you to talk in first person, because this trains your brain to believe that you are already doing those things and you are that person currently. For example, I would say I am an active person, I am creative, and I am a good friend. And so you see how those are a part of the habits that I practice. And I'm manifesting those and creating those into my new identity as well, because I'm bringing those good habits into creating that higher envisioned self. So after we envision our new identity, our higher self, we've put all the habits, the thoughts, the goals all into fruition. I want us to then go forward and think about the structure and timeline of each day leading up to those 14 days. So this way it bridges the gap between our current self and our best self. So what does that look like? What is the start of your day? What is the end of your day? What time do you get up? What time do you go to bed? What do you do within those hours that you are awake? Are you productive? Are you working out? What does your content schedule look like? Are you drinking caffeine? What is your water intake? Are you doing takeout, or are you making like hearty homemade meals? Are you tracking your gratitude through journaling? Like, what is it that you are filling your day with in order to benefit and provide for yourself to reach those goals that you want to progress towards? So I want you to pick 3 of those, and I want you to really focus on them. And once you get really good at those 3 goals, you can then move on to another 3 and another 3 and another 3. By the end of it, you should create these habits that will just like project you forward and move you in the right direction towards being your best self. So something that I think is very important is to distance yourself from toxic people and toxic energy. And I know that this is hard because we all have people like this in our lives, but we have to protect our peace. At the end of the day, if we want to get better, we can't be holding on to this energy that people are dragging us down. And everyone has those people in their lives, but I want you to limit your interaction with them because they don't serve you. They are not providing you any value. And yes, they might be happy for you when you're doing good, but is it really genuine? You hold yourself to the highest standard, at least I hope you do, because you deserve it. And you're working hard to being a better you. And if people aren't leveling up, or if they're dragging you down, they're only going to stop you from you progressing to where you want to be and where you envision yourself. So who you surround yourself with is who you become. Remember that. Brick by brick, you will build yourself. And I want you to rely on your mission statement. Focus on envisioning your higher self and your best self of your habits, your thoughts, and your goals. I want you to remember who you want to be. What does this life look like? What does it look like from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed? What fills your day? I want you to bridge that gap between your current self and your best self in order to level up and be the best that you can be. I really hope that you learned some tips and tricks on how to envision and practice your best self and how to change your life within 14 days. If you want to, comment down below if you have any tips and tricks that you've heard on other YouTube videos or you've just realized in your life that you want to share with others. So make sure to comment down below. I want us all to be in our era of just leveling up, being our best selves, being our true selves, and succeeding at achieving our goals, our dreams, and our aspirations. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. My name is Megan May, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.